From the moment Luka Doncic first picked up a basketball in Ljubljana, Slovenia, there was an unmistakable natural rhythm to everything he did. The ball didn't just bounce in his hands. It responded to him, moved with him, followed him as if it recognized something in him that the world had yet to see. Even as a child, Luka had an aura, part confidence, part curiosity, part raw genius, that made people stop and watch. His parents, Sasa Doncic and Mirjam Poderbin, knew their son was different, but what they could not have predicted was how a boy from a small European city would go on to reshape basketball across continents, cultures, and generations. Luka's story is not simply a tale of superstardom. It is a journey of vision, resilience, unshakable belief, and a love for the game so pure that it has carried him farther than anyone imagined. Growing up in a family connected to sports, his father a former professional basketball player and coach, and his mother a former dancer and model, Luka was surrounded by movement, discipline, and creativity from the very beginning. He was raised with emotional support and unwavering encouragement, but he was never pushed by force. Instead, he gravitated toward the game on his own, showing early signs of brilliance that hinted at a future far larger than the courts he played on. His mother often described him as a child with limitless imagination, someone who created his own world on the court, who played with the joy and improvisation of an artist sketching with a ball instead of a pencil. And even before his body caught up with his mind, Luka's instincts were light years ahead of his peers. When he joined Union Olimpij's youth program at only 8 years old, coaches immediately realized they were watching something they didn't see often. Luka was small, skinny, and younger than almost every kid he competed against, but his advantage lived in his brain and his heart. He saw passes before lanes even opened. He controlled tempo like a seasoned point guard. He manipulated defenders with hesitation dribbles, angles, and timing that seemed impossible for someone his age to understand. His IQ, even then, was a weapon. And when he requested to practice with older groups, not out of arrogance, but out of hunger, coaches quickly saw that he not only belonged with older players, he belonged above them. It didn't take long before Luka began dominating age groups years ahead of him. By the time Real Madrid discovered him, Luka was already building a reputation as a prodigy. Yet when he joined the Real Madrid Academy at just 13 years old, few could have predicted the magnitude of what was coming. He moved away from his home, his family, and the familiar comforts of Slovenia, something that would break many kids his age. But Luka embraced it. He grew into himself in Spain, both as a player and a person. His mother remained a grounding force in his life, supportive through distance, always reminding him that the dream he was living resulted from a combination of courage, work, and sacrifice, values that remained central to who Luka would become. As he rose through the Real Madrid ranks, Luka began to show flashes that felt less like flashes and more like prophecy. He won MVPs, dominated competitions, and rewrote expectations for what a teenager could accomplish in professional basketball. Coaches marveled at his poise. Teammates trusted him with the ball in the game's biggest moments. Opponents were stunned by his ability to dissect defenses with a calm that felt almost supernatural. He didn't rely on overwhelming athleticism, but rather on angles, footwork, intelligence, and creativity. His game became a fusion of European fundamentals and street ball fluidity, of chess-like strategy and flair that reflected his personality: playful, brilliant, expressive. At just 16 years old, he debuted for Real Madrid's senior team. Not many teenagers step onto a EuroLeague court with that level of confidence. Fewer still leave that court having made an impact. Luka did both. And within 2 years, he had become the greatest teenage player European basketball had ever seen. EuroLeague MVP, Final Four MVP, EuroLeague champion, Liga ACB champion. He accomplished more overseas before age 20 than many professionals do in an entire career. His legend was growing, but the question remained: would that success translate to the NBA? When Luka declared for the NBA draft, American critics, and there were many, labeled him slow, unathletic, and proven. They doubted his ability to adapt to the speed, physicality, and star power of the league. But the Dallas Mavericks believed in him, trading up to select him in 2018, a decision that would forever transform the franchise. Mark Cuban, Dirk Nowitzki, and the Mavericks organization saw in Luka the rare combination of skill, intelligence, and unteachable feel for the game that defined the sport's greatest players. They didn't just want him. They trusted him to become the new face of the franchise. It didn't take long for Luka to silence every doubt. His rookie season was a revelation. He was efficient, dynamic, and electrifying. A player who could score from anywhere, pass like a veteran all-star, rebound like a power forward, and control the pace of an entire game. His step-back three became iconic. His vision borderline unbelievable, his swagger undeniable. He played with joy, with defiance, with creativity, and with an understanding of the game that made his transition look effortless. Rookie of the Year was inevitable. But Luka wasn't satisfied with simply proving he belonged. He wanted more. And every season since entering the league, he has delivered more. More scoring, more playmaking, more jaw-dropping moments, more game winners, triple-doubles, record-breaking performances, and playoff battles that put the world on notice. Luka didn't just become a star. He became one of the most complete offensive players of his generation. His playoff performances have been nothing short of legendary. From pushing the Clippers to the brink on multiple occasions to delivering some of the most breathtaking postseason stat lines in NBA history, Luka has cemented himself as a player built for the brightest lights. He thrives on the pressure of elimination games. He embraces hostile crowds. He plays with a fearlessness that makes him one of the most dangerous players alive when the stakes rise. His ability to manipulate defenses, create opportunities, and score at will is reminiscent of basketball's greatest offensive engines. Part of what makes Luka so captivating is the balance between his competitive fire and his boyish joy. One moment, he's smiling, laughing, talking to fans. The next, he's torching a defense for 40 points, hitting impossible shots, and silencing an entire arena. He carries himself like someone who loves the game deeply, but he also competes like someone who refuses to lose. That duality, gentle and fierce, joyful and ruthless, makes him impossible not to watch. Beyond his on-court brilliance, Luka's humility remains one of his defining traits. Despite global fame, endorsement deals, and superstar status, he still credits his success to the people who shaped him. His mother, the Real Madrid community, his coaches, and the teammates who helped him transition into the NBA. He never forgets where he came from. His gratitude shines in interviews, in interactions with fans, in moments where he remains grounded even as the world celebrates him. And while Luka's career continues to ascend, the foundation built by his family remains central to who he is. His mother, who raised him with discipline, compassion, and belief, continues to be one of the most important figures in his life. His father's influence on the professional side of the sport gave him insight into the realities of competition long before he ever set foot in the NBA. Their support, unconditional, steady, and deeply rooted in love, gave him the confidence to pursue greatness without fear. As Luka grows older, his leadership has begun to evolve. He is learning not only to dominate games individually, but to elevate his teammates, push his franchise forward, and embrace the responsibilities that come with being the face of the Dallas Mavericks. He understands that becoming one of the greatest players in the world is not just about scoring and highlights. It's about accountability, consistency, and vision. And step by step, year by year, Luka is stepping into that leadership role with more maturity, more clarity, and more purpose. His legacy, even at this early stage, is already extraordinary. He has bridged continents, united fan bases, and inspired millions of young players across the world who see in him a reminder that skill, intelligence, and love for the game can rival even the greatest athletic advantages. Luka may not jump the highest, run the fastest, or look the most imposing, but he represents a new era of basketball, one where creativity, strategy, and versatility reign above all. His impact stretches beyond the court, influencing culture, conversation, and international basketball in a way that few players have ever done. And yet, this is only the beginning of his story. Luka is still young, still evolving, still discovering just how high his ceiling truly is. As he continues to grow physically, mentally, and emotionally, the league will witness an even more polished, refined, and unstoppable version of him. He is not a finished product. He is a masterpiece still being painted, a journey still unfolding, and every season adds new layers to his legend. Fans around the world are witnessing history. They are watching a generational superstar carve out a path shaped by intelligence, creativity, and resilience. They are watching a player who has transformed the Dallas Mavericks into contenders again, who has brought pride to Slovenia, and who has inspired an entire generation with his brilliance and authenticity. Luka Doncic's journey is one of courage, genius, humility, and relentless belief. A story that will be told for decades, not just for what he has accomplished, but for the way he has changed the game. Thank you for spending your time with this deep, emotional tribute to Luka Doncic and the remarkable journey that continues to unfold before our eyes. Your support truly means the world. If you enjoyed this long-form story and want more tributes like this, more detailed journeys, more powerful reflections, more celebrations of the athletes who inspire us, make sure to stay connected, share your support, and come back for more. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe for the next story coming your way.